Tonight, a quiet crown settles over you, not heavy, but certain. It is not forged by applause or earned by favor. It is a soft, steady light that others sense before they learn your name. It moves around you like the hush that falls when a room remembers something holy. Libra, this is not a story about luck. It is the story of a seal placed long before your first breath. There are seasons when people glance your way and feel a weight they cannot name. They step back, they lean in. Doors that have resisted others begin to part for you, as if the path itself remembers that you belong there. Listen, authority does not shout. It settles. It corrects the course of conversations, changes the tone of rooms, and reorders small things that lead to big outcomes. It is the invisible hand that steadies a shaking plan. It is the calm in the middle of a storm that makes other storms pause. You did not ask for this. You did not bargain for it. It was given, a trust, handed down by a world beyond the headlines and the small talk. Think of it as a signature pressed on your spirit. Destiny did the signing, heaven did the stamping. That is why some nights you wake and feel the taste of purpose on your tongue, and some mornings you stand and sense that everything around you leans toward what you will say next. Type this in the comments now as your seal of faith. My authority is heaven-born. Say it plainly. Let the words land in your chest. They are not just words, they are a reminder. When enemies whisper, when doubt gathers, when the path looks unclear, come back to this sentence. It is a cord that ties you to what cannot be taken away. Stay with me. There are truths in the quiet places of your life that will make sense by the end of this message. You will learn why the resistance you face is not a sign of failure, but confirmation that something greater moves through you. You will see how the small, strange openings in your life are proof of a guaranteed design. Breathe. Receive. The crown is there, unseen yet undeniable. Libra, think back to the earliest years of your life. Even when you were a child, before you understood the meaning of destiny, something about you drew attention. Some people seemed to trust you without knowing why. Others resisted you, almost as if your very presence made them uncomfortable. This has always been more than personality or circumstance. It is the invisible garment of authority that rests on your life. True authority is never loud. It does not need to announce itself to be known. It is quiet, steady, and unshakable, like the weight of the earth that keeps mountains in place, like the unseen pull of the moon that commands the oceans to rise and fall. You carry this same invisible force within you. It is not something you earned. It was stitched into your soul before your first breath. It clings to you, whether you notice it or not. You may not realize it, but people have often been guided by your presence without you speaking a single word. Your silence has corrected things that were drifting off course. Your calmness has soothed storms inside others without them even telling you they were struggling. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts, not because of anything you do outwardly, but because of what rests within you. This is the silent power you didn't ask for. It is the way your words echo longer than expected. It is the way your steady gaze unsettles dishonesty. It is the way your laughter restores warmth where there was tension. Even when you are unaware, you are shaping environments. You are carrying weight without lifting a finger. And because this power is invisible, people cannot always explain their reactions to you. Some will lean closer, drawn by the quiet gravity of your spirit. Others will retreat, sensing in you a strength that exposes their weakness. Some will admire you, some will envy you, and some will even misunderstand you. But none can ignore you. Authority is not about control, titles, or recognition. Authority is about presence. And your presence, Libra, has been marked since the very beginning. It unsettles darkness without effort. It commands respect without demand. It guides paths without instruction. You didn't ask for this power, yet it rests on you as naturally as the breath in your lungs. This is why you sometimes feel different, even isolated. It is because you are carrying something that does not belong to the crowd. It is yours, and it was given to you before you knew how to use it. This silent power will never leave you, because it is not borrowed, it is born in you, sealed by something greater than this world. Listen closely, Libra. This is not about your resume, your family name, or the certificates on a wall. The power you carry comes from a different lineage. It flows from a sky-stitched ancestry, a bloodline written in light before time began. Imagine a royal line where titles are not earned by speeches or battles, but inherited by birthright. You do not knock for that kind of place. You are simply recognized when you step across the threshold. In the same way, the authority in your spirit is inherited from a place beyond earthly rules. It is not something the world gave you. It is something the world must answer to. There are quiet records kept in the unseen, scrolls that hold the shape of your days. Your name sits on those pages with gentle, deliberate strokes. In those records, a seal was placed, a seal that says, "This one carries trust." No wind of slander can wash it away. No loud accusation can blot out that ink. That is why certain seasons feel protected, even when everything around you looks fragile. Think of small evidence you have seen. Doors that open at odd times, strangers who become allies at the right moment, a job that fits in a way 1,000 interviews could not explain. These are not luck. They are signs that something larger is managing the logistics of your life. The world arranges itself to honor what was already declared over you. You may have noticed people stepping up to defend you when you can't even name the danger. You may have felt a sudden ease fall over a room when you enter, or an invisible hand lifting a burden that was pressing heavy on your chest. These are proofs of a lineage that watches you. A lineage whose patience and timing are perfect. This heritage does not promise comfort. It promises assignment. To be from this bloodline means you are chosen to carry weight others cannot bear. It means you will be placed where decisions are made, where hearts tilt, where history nudges forward. That placement brings scrutiny. It brings tests. But the seal remains intact through every trial, because the source of your authority does not depend on your performance. It depends on destiny's endorsement. There will be moments when people try to copy what they see in you. They may mimic your words, imitate your manner, or build a version of you out of what they covet. These copies will be hollow. A true inherited authority moves from within. Imitations always reveal thinness when storms arrive. When push comes to shove, the hollow cannot hold the weight you were built for. There will also be times when the world misunderstands you. People will ask, "Why them?" and point to achievements that look ordinary. But the question misses the point. Your standing was never about what the world applauds. It was about what the heavens appointed. While others chase applause, you were given a quiet commission, a role that works in the background and changes everything in front of it. Do not mistake gentleness for weakness. The same hand that signed your name did so with authority. Your kindness, your restraint, your measured voice, they are not accidents. They are marks of a bloodline that moves with wisdom, not haste. You were groomed to lead without loudness, to influence without force, to mend without breaking. When fear whispers that you must prove yourself, remember the scrolls. When doubt insists the crown can be taken, remember the seal. There is a covenant that protects the line you belong to. It does not mean the journey will be easy, but it does mean the outcome is guarded. So stand differently, Libra. Carry yourself like one who knows the ink is not erasable. Let your steps be steady because your path is signed. When small doors open or unexpected people appear in your life, receive them as confirmations, gentle nudges that the lineage is moving on your behalf. And in your quiet hours, when the night seems dense and questions press close, place your hand over your heart and feel the certainty there. The bloodline that claims you is older than the seasons that try to shape you. It remembers who you are when the world forgets. Hold fast to that remembering. This is not boastfulness, it is recognition. Your authority is not built on the applause of men. It is carried in a code that heaven keeps, and destiny has already stamped it with a seal that cannot be broken. Libra, there is something about your presence that never goes unnoticed. You may walk into a room quietly without drawing attention to yourself, yet eyes begin to turn. Conversations shift. Some people feel a sense of calm when you are near, while others grow restless. They cannot explain it, but they feel it. That is the silent testimony of your authority. Authority does not need a speech to announce itself. It does not wait for introductions. It does not ask for permission. It simply radiates. And because it radiates, it stirs something inside those who encounter it. Some will be drawn to it like moths to a flame. They may not know why they trust you so quickly, or why your voice feels heavier than others, but they sense truth in you. Others will resist it, not because you wronged them, but because your very existence confronts what they would rather hide. This is why you've seen strange reactions from people. Some honor you without reason. Some compete with you without cause. Some may even copy your words, your ideas, or your style, thinking they can wear what belongs to you. But authority is not something that can be borrowed or duplicated. It is not clothing to put on. It is not a performance to perfect. Authority is essence. It flows from who you are, not from what you pretend to be. And here lies the truth that often goes unnoticed. Many of the struggles and conflicts you've faced in your life were never truly about your mistakes, your flaws, or even your decisions. They were about your authority. Darkness has always recognized it, long before you named it. People have sensed it, long before you understood it. Life itself has tested it, pressing you with trials to see if you would crumble or rise. Each misunderstanding, each betrayal, each season of rejection, they were not accidents. They were battles aimed at breaking your authority. But here you are, still standing, still carrying what was sealed inside you from the beginning. The irony is this: every test that came against you only polished the authority you carry. Every fire you walk through only proved how unshakable it truly is. This is why storms have not destroyed you. This is why opposition could not silence you. What others thought would weaken you has only strengthened the presence that surrounds you. And now, whether others admit it or not, they feel it even more strongly. So remember this, Libra. The reactions of others are mirrors of what you carry. Respect, envy, admiration, fear, they are all reflections of the same truth. You carry an authority that is heaven-born, and destiny has sealed it beyond the reach of men. Libra, carrying authority is not only about honor, it is about responsibility. A crown may shine, but it also weighs heavily on the one who wears it. And your authority, though beautiful, often feels like a cross pressed against your shoulders. There are nights you have whispered into the silence, "Why me? Why do I feel burdens others don't even notice?" You have watched others live without a care, while you sense currents moving beneath the surface of life. You feel battles that are invisible, burdens that no one else seems to acknowledge. That is because your authority is heaven-born, and with it comes a different kind of calling. It isolates you, not because you are unloved, but because you are set apart. There are rooms where you cannot join in the noise, because your spirit hears a deeper sound. There are moments where you cannot laugh with the crowd, because your heart is awake to something more urgent. While others rest without thought, you often feel pressed to stay awake in prayer, in reflection, in silence. This is not punishment, it is training. Responsibility has a way of maturing you faster than your years. Where others may chase applause, you have learned to find strength in stillness. Where others fight for titles, you carry a throne within. A throne no human eye can see, but one that destiny recognizes. It is not about position, it is about posture. And your posture has been shaped by trials, by tears, and by a wisdom that feels far older than your age. This is the path of being chosen. It is often lonely, because very few can walk beside you at the depth you live. Yet it is never empty. Heaven does not assign weight without providing presence. The unseen stands closest to you in those moments when you feel most misunderstood. Remember, Libra, being chosen means you were never meant to blend into the crowd. Your path was carved to stand out, not for attention, but for impact. Authority sets you apart because your destiny requires a higher ground. So when the weight feels too heavy, remind yourself, it was not given to crush you, but to shape you. Destiny sealed it this way so that when the time comes, you will not only carry the crown with grace, but you will carry others with it. Because true authority is never about self, it is about service. And heaven watches closely over those it entrusts with much. You are not carrying this alone. The very presence that sealed your destiny also walks with you in silence, strengthening you when no one else sees. That is the hidden gift of being chosen. Libra, authority is never carried without challenge. The moment heaven places weight on your life, resistance begins to rise. That is why you have walked through seasons where the battles made no sense. People turned against you without clear reason. Friends you trusted shifted into strangers overnight. You felt heaviness pressing on your spirit, even when life around you looked calm. These were not random events. They were unseen battles waged against the crown you carry. Your authority does not just disturb individuals, it unsettles systems. It rattles chains that have held generations in silence. It threatens cycles that kept families, communities, and even bloodlines in bondage. You are the breaking point. You are the one chosen to interrupt patterns that have gone on too long. And because of that, the very forces that held others captive will fight hardest to keep you from rising. But here's the truth. Opposition is not proof of weakness, it is proof of authenticity. No one counterfeits what has no value. No one resists what has no impact. The very fact that battles come against you so sharply is evidence that your authority is recognized even in the unseen world. The attacks are not about who you are in the natural, they are about what you carry in the spiritual. Betrayal, rejection, delays, and sudden losses, these have been some of your fiercest tests. Yet notice this, each time you came out still standing. Even if scarred, even if shaken, you remained. That is the revelation of true authority. It bends under pressure, but never breaks. It is contested, but never conquered. Every invisible war you have faced has only confirmed what was placed inside you. Authority that is heaven-born cannot be overthrown by earthly hands or unseen shadows. And while you may not always see it in the moment, those battles were shaping your endurance, sharpening your discernment, and proving that the crown on your spirit is real. So Libra, when you feel opposition rise, do not despair. Take it as confirmation. The fight around you is proof of the seal within you. And no matter how loud the battle sounds, your authority was never designed to be defeated. It was designed to prevail. Libra, when heaven seals something, no hand can break it. No voice can cancel it. No power can reverse it. And your authority is one of those things. It was signed, sealed, and secured in eternity, and that seal cannot be undone. This authority you carry is not for a season, and it is not a gift that can be taken away when times get difficult. It is not like earthly crowns that tarnish or titles that expire. Even in your moments of weakness when you feel too tired to stand, the seal does not weaken. Even in seasons of doubt, when you wonder if you are truly chosen, the seal does not fade. Why? Because destiny itself was the hand that pressed it upon your life. There is a mark on you, invisible to the natural eye, but undeniable in the spiritual realm. A mark no one before you has carried, and no one after you will carry in the same way. It is heaven's signature, written across your being as a sign of trust. This is why you feel different, why you sense you cannot live like everyone else, why you are pulled into paths that stretch you beyond your own strength. It is because the seal identifies you as one entrusted with something greater. Every step you take is not small. Every trial you overcome is not ordinary. Every word you release carries weight far beyond the sound of your voice. Whether you realize it or not, the unseen world responds when you move in alignment with who you are. Atmospheres shift, chains loosen, pathways open. That is the nature of the seal on your life. You may not always feel powerful, but power is not about feelings. You may not always feel chosen, but being chosen is not about emotion, it is about design. You were designed with this seal already in place, and destiny does not change its mind. So hold on to this truth. Your authority is permanent. It does not expire with age, it does not disappear in failure, and it does not crumble under pressure. The seal of destiny remains, unbroken, untouched, and undeniable. And as long as that seal rests on you, you will rise again and again, because heaven has already confirmed what you are meant to be. Libra, now that you've seen the signs, felt the weight, and understood the battles, it's time to name what this authority really is. Listen carefully. Your authority is not a job title. It is not tied to a position in society. It is not measured by how much you own, how many people know your name, or what stage you stand on. Those things rise and fall. They are temporary. They change with seasons. But your authority is not seasonal. It is eternal. Your authority is not social power. It is not the ability to control people or command them with fear. True authority does not manipulate. It does not demand loyalty. It does not need applause. Your authority is not worldly recognition. It is not about likes, followers, promotions, or applause. Recognition comes and goes. Crowds cheer today and forget tomorrow. If your authority was built on recognition, it would crumble the moment the crowd turned away. No, your authority is the essence of heaven's trust placed inside you. It is the invisible stamp that says, "You have been chosen to carry weight others cannot carry." It is a mantle that causes you to stand out, even when you try to blend in. It is the reason you cannot walk the same roads as everyone else, because your path bends higher. This authority is about alignment. When you stand in alignment with who you are created to be, unseen forces respond. Atmospheres shift, heavy chains break, silence begins to speak, and things that were impossible suddenly bow to possibility. This is why people listen differently when you speak. Not because your voice is louder, but because your voice carries substance. This is why your presence shifts the mood of a room even before you say a word. Not because you're trying to be important, but because the authority in you cannot hide. To walk in your divine authority means you stop trying to prove yourself. You stop trying to convince people of your worth. You stop chasing after validation. Instead, you rest in the knowing that heaven already validated you. It means you carry yourself with quiet strength. You no longer allow fear to silence you, because authority cancels fear. You no longer settle for less, because authority demands more. You no longer compare yourself to others, because authority makes you unique. Walking in this authority also means humility. For authority is not pride, it is stewardship. It is living with the awareness that your words can heal or wound, that your silence can correct or confuse, that your presence alone can inspire or intimidate. So you learn to carry it with care. You learn to use it to build, not to tear down, to lift others, not to crush them. Libra. This authority is heaven's investment in you. It is heaven's way of saying, I trust you to carry influence not for yourself but for others. I trust you to walk as light in dark spaces. I trust you to break cycles where others were trapped. I trust you to hold steady when storms rage. And here is the mystery. The more you step into this authority, the less you will need to fight to be seen. The less you will need to struggle to be heard. For your very alignment with purpose will announce you in places your feet have not yet walked. This is what your authority is. Not power over people, but power over the unseen. Not applause from crowds, but validation from heaven. Not recognition by the world, but trust from eternity. So walk in it, live in it, breathe in it, and never forget, your authority was born in heaven, sealed in destiny, and entrusted to you, because you were chosen to carry what no other soul could. Libra, hear this clearly. You carry an authority no soul before you has ever carried, and no soul after you will carry in the same way. It is unique, it is sacred, it is heaven-born and destiny-sealed. No hand can steal it, no rival can replace it, and no force can erase it. What heaven has written over you remains written for all of time. I want you to seal this truth with your own words. Type this right now in the comments as your declaration. Destiny sealed my authority. Write it, then whisper it, and repeat it until your spirit believes it fully. Because when you speak it, you are not only declaring it, you are aligning yourself with it. Each time those words leave your lips, they remind the unseen world that you know who you are. Remember this, Libra. You do not need to shout to be heard. You do not need to fight to be seen. Your presence already carries weight. Your silence speaks volumes. Your steps leave imprints even when no one applauds. Why? Because your authority is not borrowed. It is written in the fabric of the universe, etched into your being, and sealed in eternity. So walk forward with calmness in your heart, certainty in your steps, and unshakable faith in your destiny. Let your life be a reminder that true power does not come from crowns of gold or titles of men, but from a seal placed by heaven itself. When the world looks at you, let them see more than a Libra. Let them see a vessel, a living, breathing carrier of heaven's trust. Let them feel the quiet gravity that radiates from you, not because you demand attention, but because authority cannot be hidden. And if this message has spoken to the depths of your heart, if it reminded you of who you truly are, then stay connected here. Subscribe, because every word you hear from this place is designed to remind you of the greatness you carry, the authority you walk in, and the destiny you cannot escape. This is not just another video. This is an unveiling, a lifting of the veil so you can finally see yourself as heaven has always seen you. And from this moment forward, walk in that revelation, unafraid, unshaken, unstoppable. Your authority is heaven-born, your authority is destiny sealed, and it will never be taken away.